if you're investing in the same way you did 10 or 20 years ago, does that really make sense? Because here's the truth that most people don't want to hear. An investment strategy that worked in your 20s or even in your 30s could be very detrimental in your 40s, and it could absolutely destroy your portfolio when it comes to retirement. Investing isn't really a set it and forget it forever, maybe an extended time, 5, 10 years. It is a set it, monitor it, evolve it as you progress, as life changes, as things change within your life itself. There are going to be adjustments to the portfolio. So in today's video, I want to break down the 5 reasons why your investment strategy needs to evolve as you age, what most people get wrong at every stage of life, and how you can make smarter moves with your money and your timeline, not being against you, but making it work for you. So the first of all, your time horizon is the biggest advantage until it isn't. When we start looking at individuals, when you're younger, that time is your superpower when it comes to investing. When you start looking at that compounding factor, when you have, 30, 40, 50 years possibly till retirement, that is a very long runway. When you're in your 20s and 30s, you can afford a lot of risk. You can afford a lot of volatility. Market crashes really don't make a big difference. It's a good opportunity and really being able to invest at that time frame when a market does a 10-15% dip. That is going to allow you to catapult your value in really having decades to recover if the market does dip, and letting the compounding do the heavy lifting when it comes to the portfolio. This is why we look at very aggressive growth strategies that make sense early on. So what exactly does this look like? Very heavy exposure to stocks and also ETFs, heavy growth ETFs, thinking of like the QQQ or the VUG, and even taking possibly calculated risk on very specific stocks. When you start looking at companies like NVIDIA and looking at Palantir, they have absolutely crushed it over the last 3 to 5 years if you would have just purchased that individual stock. But now, of course, this is where people mess up, and people that I sit down with personally, this is where the mistake is. They don't adjust the portfolio. As you get older, your time horizon when it comes to retirement absolutely does shrink, not because you stop investing, just because you have less time to recover from those major losses. This is where a lot of the play comes in with income-driven ETFs. This is where a lot of the play comes in with those value-driven ETFs. If you have a 50% drawdown at 25 is annoying. If you have a 50% drawdown at 60, this could absolutely crush your retirement like we talked about and really end it altogether, or possibly having to look at going back to work. So the strategy really does have to evolve, looking at how much can this grow, and really looking on the other side of how much can I protect and how much could I lose within this portfolio and still be okay. Now, key point number 2, risk isn't just about the market, it is about your life. Now, when it comes to most people, including, again, individuals that I do financial counseling with, they define risk completely wrong. Risk isn't just stock prices going up and down. Risk is what happens when life shows up completely uninvited. This is when early in life, your biggest asset isn't your portfolio, it's your income. It is your ability to make money at that 9 to 5 job. You can take a lot more market risk because you're still earning money, you're still saving money, you're still contributing to 401k plans, to those Roth IRA plans, even looking at HSAs. But as you age, there are a few things that change. Health risks increase, job stability can decrease as you get more tenured into the marketplace. Family responsibility grows if now you have a wife, if now you have kids. Fixed expenses often become more less flexible as you go there. So of course, market risk in life really do overlap in its entirety, thinking about it in a bigger picture scenario. So this is where the investment strategy does really do and lean towards a lot more diversification, less volatility with the assets. You're not going to be 40, 50, or 60 years old and going all in on Bitcoin. And of course, we start looking at income producing investments. That's what we covered in the last video, looking at building a portfolio that is going to generate $100,000 of dividend income and an annual basis, being able to supplement and replace a lot of the income while having incredibly low volatility. Now, what does it mean? It doesn't mean play it safe in the portfolio. It just means you need to play it a lot safer than you probably have in your 20s and 30s. The goal isn't to eliminate risk at 100%. That would be putting it into something like a savings account, high yield savings account, looking at CDs, something that is guaranteed that will not lose money, but you're looking at more being able to just control what you have in the portfolio. Key growth point number 3, growth alone won't retire you, cash flow will. This is something, again, as I continue at the age of 46 and start looking towards retirement, possibly even looking towards retiring early. One of the biggest mindset shifts that I had to really overcome that people really struggle with is the accumulation phase of investing where growth is king. You want as big as a portfolio as you can get. When you start shifting a little bit more towards that retirement phase where cash flow is king and being able to cover all of your expenses with passive income at that point. And of course, there is going to be a point where your portfolio stops and really doesn't no longer is the scoreboard, and it starts turning into a paycheck as you start doing withdrawals out of that portfolio. As you get older, strategies should focus on dividend paying investments, income ETFs like we've been picking up, bonds alternative, real estate, anything that is going to generate cash flow. And the reason for this is because if you're looking at selling assets, it can be very risky. But if you have those assets that can generate income, living off that income is where sustainability is going to come in through all of retirement without the liquidation or without the sale of those assets. I don't want to be forced to sell any of my investments during a market downturn just to make sure that I cover those bills, the mortgages, the car payment. That's how portfolios collapse, and they do very often late in life. This is the reason also why a lot of individuals are running out of money during retirement. They're retiring at 65, getting Social Security. By the time they're 75, 80, possibly even 85, the portfolio, the 401ks that they've been saving is completely exhausted. And now they spend the rest of their days just living on Social Security itself. This is where the smarter evolution really has to come in before you need it and before you need the cash, growing the portfolio to a big size, then switching part of it into that income driven. Now, key point number 4, emotional discipline becomes more important than returns. The hard truth is, as your portfolio grows, the emotional attachment gets louder. If you have a 5% decrease on $1 million portfolio, that is a lot of money in comparison to having a $100,000 portfolio that dips 5%. You might only see that $5,000 loss versus that $50,000 loss when you see it. A 10% swing can feel even like you're swinging for the fences. When you're younger, mistakes definitely recoverable. When you're older, mistakes can be very, very costly in a portfolio. And this is where, again, eliminating some of the complexity within the portfolio does make sense. And that means making fewer speculative events, clear asset allocation, rule-based investing, and rebalancing instead of reacting when the market does a pullback. Best portfolios are not the ones that chase those hot trends, but they are the ones that really stick through the portfolio and the plan when it comes to all of the chaos we see in the market. And the final key point in this, guys, number 5, your goals change from building wealth to protecting your freedom. Early on, your 20s and 30s, it is about generating wealth. It is about building wealth. It is about stocking money into that 401k plan. Later on in life, the goal becomes and really evolves into protecting your freedom, preserving your lifestyle when it comes to retirement, creating a legacy, and avoiding financial stress in the entirety. It's not about winning. It's not about beating the market at this point. It is about not losing your independence and not losing them income streams that you've spent a lifetime building. This is where investment decisions really need to align with the plans when you get towards retirement. How do you plan to retire? What kind of retirement do you want? How do you plan to live? What kind of legacy are you leaving? Are you leaving a legacy for your kids? These are all questions that are not super aggressive, but they are adaptive to exactly how you're going to do this and coming up with a plan long before, and even for me, 10, 20 years out, knowing exactly what it's going to look like all the way through retirement. So here's the bottom line, guys. If your investment strategy hasn't changed as you've aged from 20 to 30, 40, 50, even 60 years old, no reason to panic. You really need to take time, reassess what you're investing in, and your money should serve your life, not the other way around. So thinking of these action steps and 3 simple things you can do. What stage of life am I in, and what do I need to invest in to mitigate that risk? Does the portfolio that I have actually match that stage in life? Am I in the growth aspect? Am I looking at the income, or am I looking at the protection? And is it intentional to what you're investing in? So if this video helped you out at all with investing, hit that like button. Definitely share it with all of your friends. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. And really, if you're serious about building wealth, guys, it's something that we're sharing on here every single day. And let me know below in the comments what stage of life you're in, staying disciplined, staying focused with the investment strategy, and I'll catch you in the next one.